Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to reactive form, where we will see the difference between setValue and patchValue. If you remember, in our previous session, we discussed the examples of each, where we practically see the difference between setValue and patchValue. But this is the topic where we need more attention, because in interviews they might ask you the question like the exact difference between the setValue and patchValue. So at that time you should know about some pointers that you can consider while telling the answer to the interviewer or examiner. Okay, so by the end of this session we will be able to understand what is setValue and what is patchValue, the difference in terms of strictness of data matching, difference in terms of error handling behavior, and also in terms of partial and complete design update. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to differentiate between setValue and patchValue. But prior to that, you should know about at least one example that we have already covered, so that you can easily relate the things here. Okay, alright. And for the detailed content, you can also refer the Sharmit digital coursebook, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. Okay, alright. So now you can start with this. Here you can see my first heading says Angular course by Sharmit. My second heading says reactive form in Angular, setValue versus patchValue. Now firstly we will start with the definition itself. setValue. setValue is a method used to update the entire form value at once. So here Angular expects that the complete form structure to be provided when using this method. Okay, here you are supposed to provide the entire form structure, and definition wise one thing is very important, that it is a method that is used to update the entire form value at once. In other simple words, you can say that when you use the setValue, Angular assumes that you know every field of the form and you are setting them all together. Clear? Now on the other hand, we have patchValue, and patchValue is a method used to update only the selected form fields, not all fields. Okay, only the selected form fields, because Angular allows partial updates without affecting other fields. Okay, so in simple term, you can say that when you use patchValue, Angular understands that you want to update only some fields, not the whole form. Okay, so that is the only difference between the setValue and patchValue in terms of definition. Now we will see the difference in terms of strictness of data matching. So in case of setValue is very strict by the design. That means the object passed to it must exactly match the form structure, because every control in the form must be present. Control names must exactly match, and no extra or missing controls are allowed. So if this rule is violated, Angular throws an error, and this is a strict behavior. This is strict behavior of setValue ensure that data is accurate and consistent. Okay, so you need to keep all these rules in mind, that every control in the form must be present. Control name must match exactly. You can't change the name. There is no extra fields or missing fields are allowed. Suppose there are 5 controls in your form group, so you have to mention all 5. You can't miss any one, or even you can't extract any one. Clear? Otherwise it will fail, because if any of this rule violated, Angular simply throws an error. Now on the other hand, we have patchValue, which is completely opposite to this, because patchValue is very lenient and flexible. Here Angular updates only the fields that are present in object and ignores the rest. Okay, so here missing controls are completely ignored. So suppose there are 5 controls and you want to update only 2, so that is fine, you can update only 2 and the 3 can be skipped. Extra field do not cause errors. Yes, if you put any extra fields, it will not cause any kind of issues. Structure does not have to match exactly. Okay, so no need to match the structure exactly. you can simply leave it. This makes it suitable for real world dynamic data. Okay, so these are the all pointers that are related to the patch value. Now we will discuss the difference in terms of error handling behavior, because in case of set value, if any form control is missing or incorrectly named, Angular immediately throws a runtime error. This happens because Angular assumes you are updating the full form, so every form field must be accounted for. Okay, so that is very important thing, because if any of the structural differences there, it will simply throw a runtime error. So this behavior also helps us catch the programming mistakes early, especially when working with the APIs. Okay, then we have next thing, that is patch value, and patch value does not throw any kind of error for missing control, because Angular simply updates the matching control, skip the unmatched one, and contains execution normally. So this makes it safer when form structure or incoming data is uncertain. Okay, now next parameter is partial versus complete update, because this is the main parameter when we are differentiating the set value and patch value. So in case of set value is designed only for the complete form update. So whenever there is a requirement where you are supposed to update the entire form, then in that case you will use the set value. It cannot be used when only one or two fields needs updating. Here data like it cannot be used in multiple cases, like when only one or two fields needs to updating, data is incomplete, form controls change dynamically. Using set value for partial update is not allowed. Okay, now moving next point, that is patch value. So in case of patch value, the things are very simple, because it is designed specifically for the partial update. Here you are supposed to do the partial update, and it is very flexible. Okay, like if you want to update all controls, that is good. If you want to update only few of the controls, that is also fine for it. Therefore we can say that it is ideal when updating a single field, like example name. Suppose we have three controls, name, email and mobile number, and I just want to update the name. So in that case I will use the patch value instead of set value, because in case of set value I am supposed to update all name, email as well as mobile number, but in case of patch value we just need as we just want to update name, so you can skip the email and phone. Clear? Also it allows, or it is ideal for when updating the nested field. Yes, if you want to update the nested field, then it is ideal again. Applying user edits without resetting other values. Okay, so here like you can apply the user edit without resetting the other value. This flexibility is its biggest strength. So you can say it is the biggest strength of the patch value. So these are the overall pointers that will help us to understand the exact difference between set and patch value. And trust me, this is the topic which is very common for interviewers, because they often ask about the difference between set value and patch value, because from name it seems very straightforward, but when we are in place to answer the question, at that time we might get confused. So it is always better to go through at least the actual parameter differences, so that while answering the question you sound confident and you answer the things in a very simple way. So these are some of the most defining parameters. Maybe in upcoming session we will take few more parameters if required. I'll check and I'll let you know. Otherwise we will move for the next topics. So but overall in today's session what we discuss what is the exact difference between the set value versus the patch value. I hope this session is clear to all of you, and in the next session we will discuss few more things related to Angular. Meanwhile, what you can do the practice of all the examples we have already covered, and also you can suggest me if any modification is needed in any of the session, or if there's any particular topic which you want me to cover here. So I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions and also try my best to implement the suggested feedback. Clear? So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.